Hello, YouTube. I've been thinking about everything that's going on. I watched, listened to a big podcast on the Webbot project, and do I agree with the Webbot project or not? No, I don't necessarily agree with it. I just find the way Cliff talks is very interesting. It makes you think about a lot of things. What's happening now is that we're in this turning point, or tipping point, sorry, between the 5th and the 14th, I believe it is. People are looking for that savior. They're looking for that external source to give them the guidance and where to go and what to do. The tipping point, technically, might not be a bomb. It might not be a false flag. It might be the actual understanding that there is no guidance. There is no movement in that direction, as in, not somebody's going to hold your hand and tell you what the future is. You are going to be the one that actually moves into the future. You are the one that's going to take that plunge and go that direction. I know a lot of people that are in the truth movement don't like the ideas of the Venus Project and a resource-based economy, and I think most of them haven't read the material on it, listened to Jacques Fresco talk, listened to Buckminster Fuller talk, listened to a lot of the individuals that brought out this information, saying where we can go and what we can do. I believe the best direction is a non-monetary system, resource-based economy, where most things are community-based and tight-knit based, where if you talk to the people that are in the system now that have their comfy jobs still, when you bring up, oh yeah, I want to get rid of money, they go, oh, you just want things for free. No, actually, I don't want things for free. What I want is a non-monetized system. I don't want my life being monetized. What I would like is the government to build facilities to facilitate the needs and utilization of items. Like if I want a car, maybe I'll go down and to the plant, and instead of having a job, say in a bookkeeping place where I'm doing accounting and moving around these these phony fiat illusionary dollars, I will actually go down to, say, this facility that will is automated, that will help me build the car. Will I need, say, a group of 5 friends to help me facilitate and build this car? Absolutely. I have a couple friends. I need to move. Hey, why don't you guys come on over? Next week I'm going to be building a car. Give me a hand building the car. What do you do when somebody comes over to help you move? You bring in the beer, you get them some food, you work really hard all day, you move them, you feel great after, you sit around, you chit-chat, you drink a couple of beers, you have something good to eat, and everybody goes home, and people feel good about that. If the government facilitated the facilities where we can actually get together to build that car. I call up my buddies, 5 friends, and say, hey, you know what, I need a car. So I'm going to go build the car. Would you want to help me build a car? Sure. You know what, I need a car too. Let's go down and do it. Well, this week I'm going to get some food together. I'm going to go down to the permaculture gardens. I have a garden here myself. I'm going to get the food together. You need some beer. Well, we've been brewing beer in my community. I'll bring over a case of beer from my community brewery that I've brewed myself. And we'll get together and we'll do that. Where you get the wheat from is, maybe your community brings together the wheat that you need to actually make those brews. Whatever the system is, it's there to facilitate the needs of the individual, not the needs of the corporation or the bankers or the government officials. It's there for the individual. The government officials would be there and elected to actually be a gathering point for the people to get together to build these facilities, so we can, instead of having a job where you go to get the money to actually get the item, you actually have facilities to go down to build it. Like, I need a car, I go down and I put in my 75 hours to build the car from beginning to end. Me as an individual, I don't know how to do that. But if I was to go to the Ford plant right now, I bet you dollars to donuts, I wouldn't need to know how to build a car. All I would need to know is that, oh, this is where the assembly line is for seats. Screw it up. They have and I went to one of the plants and worked there for a weekend, not knowing how to put together seats. They actually had a thing showing how to put together the seats. A guy was there that walked around and showed us how to do a seat. Bang, I built a seat myself. I built engine parts in a weekend. That actually put together for a car. It needs to meet the standard level of design, and it got put on. Put down I think I built something like 800 seats in a day or something like that. It was crazy amount of seats. Me and another guy, just boom, 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 boom. So it's not that we need more jobs. What we need is the facilities to actually get the items that we need. Eventually, maybe it'll be totally automated. Who knows? But the point of this video is that what's happening now is slowly moving people to understand that we don't need this old system. What we need is to be self-reliant, self-motivated. We need to work. We need to work not to monetize our life, but to actually build the items that we need, and to facilitate the individuals, like to elect an individual to actually be our representative in this corporate body, which we call our city, our town, our state, that get the facilities to build the items that we need. That's why I like the whole Venus project. Not that a computer will say, you want a car? Well, I don't need a car. I don't want a car right now, but I'm a computer and I've seen that you do not have a car and you need a car and a toaster with it, blah, 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 blah. You must have this toaster. Please take the toaster. You know, if you don't take this, I'm going to call in my robots to go shoot you down in the front of your house. I don't see that. I can see an automated system there to actually facilitate the utilization of these recycled or raw items to build cars and electronic equipment. What's happening right now is because we're still in the old system and we're moving into the new system, they're sucking the capital away from us so they can move over to these third world countries, and they can give them minimum wages to build these manufacturing. We have manufacturing here. I have like a Ford plant down here. I'm in Mississauga. We have a ton of manufacturing plants down there. So we have the ability to manufacture every single thing that I have right here, right now. It's just in China they don't have it. In India they don't have it. In Mexico they don't have it. So they're sucking the capital from the old system and moving it into these smaller places there to get them up and going. So once they're up and going, the system can crash. We're coming to the end of that system, and they have to crash the system. These people, like Barack Obama and that, they know what's going on. They can see what's going on. The reason why they took drugs away is so we can, you know, they legalized it. They brought it into their legal system to control it, so we can continue to build this verbal meme. This meme within our system has been here for thousands of years to get us to build these things. Whether it was the Anunnaki that came down and gave it to us, which I think is a load of horse shit. We used to suck back drugs, and we saw these creatures, these serpents, these reptilians. And if you talk to anybody that has done DMT or done mushrooms or any of that has done a real hard dose of it, they see serpents. They see like the caduceus, the reptilians come and talk to them. They speak to them. What is the reptilians? A lot of them equate it to DNA. Satan was a reptile. He was a snake that came and told Adam and Eve, I'll show you the good and evil. It is our DNA that was way back then that put in this verbal meme and brought us to here. That's just my idea. So all these things are pushing us to collapse the system. The system needs to collapse, but the thing is we need to facilitate the movement of capital into these areas so they can build up, and then as soon as the system collapses, us as individuals that are starting to understand that we need to take control over our own lives will start to build on to what we have, this infrastructure that we have. The problem is we have still a bunch of monkey-brained individuals that will want to throw bricks through corporate windows, will tear down factories. Actually, probably won't go to factories to rip them down unless there's a bunch of morons that'll do that. But we know now that we can build all this stuff. We know now that we can automate all this stuff. We know now that in all large cities, Detroit and Michigan and Toronto and LA and all these places have manufacturing abilities or manufacturing places to build this stuff. So what needs to happen is we need to collapse this old system and have an understanding that we need to take control over our own lives to move into the new system. Keeping government there, keeping law enforcement there, they're there to manage the collapse. They're there to get in our face and manage the collapse. So I don't necessarily think it's a bad thing. I just think this is the way the world is working, the way the world is moving. Is it going to get hard? Yes, because we still have the ego fighting against ownership and stuff like that. So we'll see how it goes. It's scary as hell, though.